Hey everybody, welcome to the Soulful Eclectic. I am your host, Dr. Diana Collins, and Happy New Year to you all. Oh my God, we are in 2025 and we all got some big things coming our way. I know we have a lot of us are stuck in this whole president's election thing going on, and you have to know I don't talk about politics, so I'm just gonna leave that where that's gonna lay. Um, but we have life happening, things happening, great things, some things that we have to navigate through that storm, but we making it. So for those of you who are new to the podcast, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out to be a part of the conversation and listen. And if you don't know what we're about, you got time to find out, okay? Because there's so many episodes and seasons to catch up, because here we are on season 8. Okay, season 8. 4 years in, and we on season 8. So you got some catching up to do, and it's okay. You have time. And for those who are coming back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking the time out to come back to listen to what we have to say. I want to give a shout out to my brother because he does listen to my podcast. He just told me something I quoted, and I said, "What? You listen to my podcast?" And he's like, "Girl, yeah, I listen. I may not listen on Friday, but I catch up and I know what you're talking about." So shout out to my brother, Ernest McCain, who is out there listening to his sister ramble on about today's life, things that's happening. And I appreciate y'all so much. And I appreciate him too for taking the time out. So I just was going to give him a little shout out because that's my bestie right there. That's my bro. So thank you guys, all of you, for listening, and all the emails that I've been getting. Thank you. If you want to be a guest on the show, guys, y'all know how to find me. Just send me a message, send me an email, find me on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you need to do, you can find me. And we can talk about being a guest on the show, celebrating you, what you have going on, and we can do that for sure. All right. So today, my special guest, okay, because we starting a new year out right. So you guys know WUBI, Ubiquity Radio and TV, always have fantastic hosts, DJs, you name it, film, we doing it. So our newest addition to our podcast series that we have on WUBI, Ubiquity Radio and TV is none other than my friend, my sister, my new B. Okay. I don't know. We must have been family in another life. Because it was like instant connection. So I'm accepting that. I'm claiming that. So we fam. Okay. So I'm just going to introduce none other than my family, my friend, Miss Tiffany. How you doing, babe? How you doing?
Hello. How are you?
Because I just said we just had like it was like I'm listening to you talk. I'm like, are we related? Because it just sounds familiar. It's like it's relative in some form or fashion. So I want to say first and foremost, I know Moni welcomed you to WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV family. From the bottom of my heart, I want to welcome you to WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV and to my podcast, The Soulful Eclectic, because listen, this is family right now. This is family here, and this is what we do. So definitely welcome. And so tell us a little bit about you and who you are and where you come from and all that, because, I mean, you're from Ohio, and I got a lot of friends in Ohio. I was just in Cleveland filming a film in the worst time of the year. It was snowing, okay? I was not prepared for Cleveland snow, and I'm from New York, okay? Upstate New York City. I've been all around New York, and I've been in the snow, but Cleveland hit me hard, and I was not prepared, okay? I was not. I had on some little Cole Haan skip shoot sneakers on, some yoga pants, and some little skimpy jacket. I was not scared. Okay. So Cleveland hit me hard. So I know a little bit about Ohio. But yeah, so tell us a little bit about you, because you got a lot going on, sister. Okay. You was
Um,
busy. I thought I was busy. Well, I think we probably running neck and neck. I'm just gonna say that.
it's 2025. We got goals to meet.
Mm, that's right.
Um, so I am originally from Ohio. I relocated to Arizona about 16 years ago. In a previous relationship, I was actually an Army wife at the time. Since then, I am no longer an Army wife, but I still support the military because I have a son that serves in Korea after 6 years. He's a sergeant. So I moved to Arizona, and I have not wanted to leave. Every time I try to leave, God pulls me back.
Stay right there.
So I keep getting pulled back. So I'm here. I'm a graduate of Kent State University out of Ohio. I do hold a degree. All of my experience, for the most part, is in the behavioral health and the mental health field. I've been in that realm of work since I was probably about 17 years. So I have been a business owner before. I used to own group homes on the behavioral health level in Arizona, in Pinal County. And when I turned 40, I know I look 40, y'all, but when I turned 40, I said, I'm closing these. I want to live my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I closed them when I turned 40. About to be 7 years later, I am also a notary. So I've been a notary for 26 years. Um, I'm a wedding officiant. I'm kind of different.
See y'all when
So
I told y'all she doing everything. Y'all can't talk about me no more.
um, I'm an advocate for homelessness, notary laws, human rights with the LGBTQ community plus, and also elderly abuse. And those things hit home with me because they all intertwine and interlock with notary in the overall realm.
Mm-hmm.
Someone always needs something notarized, and I try to make sure that individuals, especially that are elderly, are protected because my grandmother raised me. So my
Mm-hmm.
grandmother raised me. She taught me everything I know, from sewing to cooking to being domesticated to chivalry, as they say. But I'm not mad at it. It's a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an author. I have 4 books coming out this year, roughly, maybe
Cool.
more.
Just cool.
I'm an artist. I paint on canvas. I do customized paintings. I still have a W-2 job because I feel that no limited amount of streams of income are too much. I could just keep going. I could just keep going.
I know. You know what? Remember what was that? In Living Color, the Jamaicans. You got 10 team job, guy.
Uh,
Okay, and
yes.
that be me. I can't even say. I can't even talk about you because you read mine, and I'm just like, okay, what don't I do? I mean, we were
Hmm.
talking about it, and I was like, oh yeah, I do that too. Well, yeah,
Hmm.
because you just do. It's something that comes in your mind, and it's a creative. That's that right side of your brain that just says, oh, we can do this. Let's figure out how we can do this, and just let's do it, right?
My right side of the brain is always pumping. So I'll share something with the individuals. So people always call me to say, let's go to a vision board party, or can you host one? And I'm like, no, because my vision boards don't look like y'all's. I get poster board, I cut them up in fours, and I write each topic on each board. Last year I had 8, this year I have 16.
Mm-hmm.
So
Same.
that's how I write my things out. I follow that write a vision, make it plain.
Mm, I like
Hmm.
that.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Because if you write it, it solidifies it. It puts it out there in the universe. Yeah, you can do the pictures and it looks great, but it's not the same as you putting that energy into that pen and that ink and writing it and making
Hmm.
it so. So I can see
Hmm.
that. I
Hmm.
have like 20 notebooks just
Hmm.
around me in general that just have random things that I have written because it came to mind and I picked up the notebook and started writing. picked
Mm-hmm.
up my phone and started typing it into my phone. So yeah, I get it. And you got
Mm-hmm.
to write it down. I have not done my new vision board yet, so I'm a little behind. It's okay. Um,
You're
the
17
vision.
days you are supposed to do your vision board before the 31st of December. So mines are on date for December 28th. At the bottom, I put the date at the bottom. So
Okay.
you're kind of
I,
late.
I
So
got time. All right. So I gotta get that vision board done. I'm gonna add it to my to-do list right now.
priority, because that's why you may be scattered. It's not on the list.
It's not. And that's the thing. Life is scattered. I am always scattered, and you doing all the things that you do, and you are adding to that because you're adding a podcast, right? You're adding that to the thing. So,
Oh, yeah.
um, yeah. So let's break this down because again, you're like Shrek said, you're that onion that just got many layers to you. So this first layer, what started this whole creative piece in you? Was it always there? Is it something that is just like you woke up one morning and said, "This is what I'm going to do"? I know you closed your businesses at 40, but yeah, you.
So I am an only child, and being raised by my grandmother's thing was always take care of you.
Hmm.
Don't worry about if you're in a relationship. If you're not taken care of, you cannot take care of individuals that will be in your life.
Right.
And I want to leave a legacy for my sons. So my two sons are this year they'll be I was scratching my head because I thought my youngest was going to be 22. He'll be 23, and my oldest will be 26.
Okay.
So I want to make sure that they can say, my mother did this. She said this. I want to follow my mother's footsteps. I want to, doing
Yeah.
the things I'm doing, I'm setting that up for them.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think, and that I can resonate with that wholeheartedly because that's really the reason why I did all the things that I've done because I refuse for my daughters to be a statistic. You're not going to be out here sitting on welfare, waiting for somebody to collect, waiting for somebody to give you something. You want it, you know what you want, go out there and make it happen. It's not going to happen unless you go out there and make it do it. And I think that's the way we were raised. You
Hmm.
know, you want something, you see what you want, work to go get it. And
Amen.
then it's yours and nobody can take it from you because nobody gave it to you.
Hmm.
That piece, right? So yeah, I can see that leaving that legacy because no one, I know I did not grow up learning about that and knowing about that. Like
Hmm.
now I'm looking at trust for my grandson. I know I can't believe I have a grandson, but I have a
Not
whole
me.
grandson.
Knock on wood. Not me. Not yet.
Well, she's 27. She's of
Okay.
age and beyond. She's my youngest. So it's well. I mean, of course, it's time. I can say yes, you can. we welcome him, right?
Mhm.
Um, so looking at trust and things like that, we didn't grow up knowing any of that or,
Mhm.
or or learning about any of that. We barely learned about putting money in savings,
That is true. That is true.
right? You
That
got
is
it in, you spent it just as quickly as it came in. It was out the door.
true. Hmm.
I call that the hood spending mentality or the urban mentality, right? You get it and you spend it. You get it, you spend it because you can't.
Don't save it. Hmm.
You don't save it. You get it, you spend it. And it's hard because you still try to work through that mentality because our wants get ahead of what we need really quickly.
Hmm. That's true.
So, right? So it's like, okay, you sit there and have that constant battle with yourself. Is it a need or is it a want?
Hmm.
Right? And then, you just like, okay, so how bad do I really need this? Well, do I want it or do I need it?
Hmm. Exactly. Exactly.
Right? And we still have those battles. So I love that you're setting that foundation, for your boys You're young men. You're young men. You're young men. Um, and setting that example, because we as parents have to do that, especially
Mm-hmm.
as single moms, because they don't give us our just dues a lot on the things we have to juggle to maintain our children and to give them what they need and to make sure that they're functioning parts of society. I know it
Mm-hmm.
sounds a little archaic, but it's true. We don't
It
want
is.
them to be in the institutions
Mm-hmm.
on any level. So, I love that. So, with all these pieces, how do you maintain your sense of authenticity? Because as women, we wear 50 million masks and we carry them around in our shoulder bags, our backpacks, however we want to carry them. And we constantly are flipping and flipping. And I don't know about anybody else. I think somebody on Instagram or something was like, I'm done code switching. And it's like, but we've done it so long,
Mm-hmm.
but it's who we are. And unfortunately, we do have to switch a little bit. Now, for me, I don't see it as code switching. This is me. Listen, you may see it as code switching. I said, but this is me. This is how I was raised. This is how I was growing up. Now, if I'm in different situations, yeah, I'm adaptable. I can adapt to any situation that I'm in because that's the way we were groomed,
Mm-hmm.
fit to where we are. So, how do you maintain your sense of you and your authenticity in everything that you're doing and every place that you're going?
So I don't feel like code switch or change clothes either, because you get what you see. I'm gonna be straight, no chaser. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sugar coated. I'm going to be direct. It's either you like it or you love it.
Right.
Um, I think that I've learned to have self acceptance, because I was always worried about what other people said, and I'm like, I don't care. I
Mm-hmm.
literally will have this face like I don't care. Like, this is me. Um, Making sure I express myself. That was always something that I really didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
I used to be the quiet girl. I used to never talk. Like, people would be like, why is she not? I wouldn't say anything. Now you cannot stop me from talking. I say I might schedule a 15 or a 30-minute call. It turned into 2 hours. I mean, look at me, you and I, we was on the phone for a
Right.
long time, scheduled for a couple of minutes, and we was just going. So um, that was difficult. And then just learning how to make sure I stood up for myself,
Mm-hmm.
because we were me being raised by my grandmother. I didn't have that. She was my mother mentality, but my actual mother, who I didn't really develop like a relationship with till I was 14.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm disclosing a lot of that in a few of my books that I'm writing. But my grandmother was like, you got to take care of yourself. You got to leave what you want done with your kids and just keep it pushing. You cannot sit back and just be stagnant, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
happens. You become very stagnant when you are dependent on individuals.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Is that hurry up and wait? You're always waiting for them,
Correct.
and then you're not moving. And yeah, I like that, and I love that you just like you said, like we said, this is who we are. I it's tiring. I don't know how people do it. I really
I'm,
don't.
I'm not changing clothes.
I,
I'm not. I'm not being fake. It even come down to text messages. People text me, and I'm like, "Who are you?" I have
yeah,
a I have a rule with my cell phone, by the way. So if you haven't texted me, and if anybody's listening to me that knows me or whoever, if you haven't texted me in like 3 months, like since last year, 9 times out of 10, your number not in my phone. I'm like, who is this? That happened this morning. I woke up this morning. Somebody said, I'm in your neck of the woods. You don't even
who
know
are
where I live.
you? Who are you?
Who are you? Like, only two people know where I live. So I'm not sure how you figure you're in my neck of the woods. You might be on my side of town,
Right.
but I don't have the tolerance to take on other people's issues, especially when they come to me for advice. So you come to me for advice, and then I give you advice, and then you don't use it or be proactive with it. I'm not coming back to tell you the same thing again. Like, I gave you the tools. Like,
That part. I always start off, okay. They say, can I ask you something? I said, wait a minute. Am I listening? Or do you want me to give you advice? And they'd be like, I want to know what you really think about it. I said, no. Okay. I said, I'm going to be honest. They were like, well, that's why I called you. I was like, okay, shoot. Because I'm not going to sugarcoat it. All right. If you dumb, I'm going to tell you being dumb right now.
Right.
Okay? And that don't make sense. Yeah. Okay. And it's just what it is. And I just don't understand how we've navigated so long. Because I've watched, like, my grandmother, God love her, my mom's mom passed away some years ago, and she was the classiest woman you ever wanted to meet. I swear, she was in that bracket of Diane Carroll, Nancy. She was in that bracket. And I just watched as I was growing up and how she navigated certain rooms and where she was. And she never changed who she was. It was always Julie Baker showed up. That's how Julie Baker is. You ask Julie a question, you're going to get Julie's real answer. And depending on where she is, I'm not going to say she didn't swear. She did swear. She's the classy swearer. And she will tell you being stupid in a minute. Okay. But she did it in a way that was just, you took it. And it was like, oh.
You dealt with it.
You dealt with it, and you cleaned yourself up, and you showed up the right way. And it's just, I always said that's the kind of person that I want to be. I just want to be me, show up. Just be me, because it's tiring. I've always been in those rooms where it's always, I'm the only Black person in that room.
How about you, Black person in your unit?
Oh yeah,
I'm like one of two. I think one of two out of 252 people.
Yeah. That never.
Yeah.
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 It never, so again, you and I talked about this, that we're very similar. I never really was one of those people that voiced a lot. I kept it to myself. I sucked it up. I was like, do what you want. Yeah. You got an opinion? Nope, not at all. Got nothing to say.
Silence.
To the point where even like as a kid, the teachers were writing their report cards, what you do, how you do. And teachers would say, she's always so quiet. We don't know if she knows anything. We don't know if she gets it. Oh, I get it. I know.
I was the opposite in school.
See, no.
Too much. It used to be like, Tiffany is too talkative during class. I would always like, I have old report cards that Tiffany is too talkative. I got the world's fastest talker in like elementary school. Like, I got all these certificates. And I said, I should make a list of like all the certificates, because I really don't want to keep them like physically. I want to scan them in. I said, I should make a list of all the stuff I did, like all the stuff I did, like from birth down. And yeah, I was talking a lot. Like, I used to get in trouble. I used to be in the corner.
And I was a person that saw that and kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to be in the corner.
Wow.
See, I went to Catholic school. So back then, the parents were allowed to still come in and beat the kids in front of the class. I've seen classmates get spanked by their mamas in front of the classroom.
I used to get paddled, so I know.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't want that. So I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut and be right here, right? Yep. So that's how I went through life. I just kept my mouth shut. But when I turned 40, I said, screw this. Oh no, I got something to say and y'all gonna hear it. Whether you want to hear it or not, you either stay in the room or you can leave. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Okay. Actually, it started probably when I was like 36 when I got rid of my ex, but that's okay. Because I was like, I'm enough of I had enough of you too. And then, to be honest, I think that was a really starting point when I was like 32, 30, in that 34 kind of range. It's like, you are stupid and you don't do anything for me. You're not serving a purpose for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
What you do for me that I can't do for myself is was what I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I see, and that's where the voice started coming. Um, Start sound like Beyonce. And listen, I found my voice. Not everyone's listening. So yeah, I get it. I get it. So where you're writing all your books, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the newest one that you're doing? I know you got one that you're promoting coming out soon.
Um, so I have one quote book. I'm sitting back looking like, eh. So I have a series of quote books. It's called Get Lifted. That first book is ready. That will come out in weeks. And then I'm in a compilation book with 364 other authors. This is
Mm-hmm.
volume 5 that's being released, and it's called Art of Connection. And it's a book for like entrepreneurs and individuals that go in there and you take one page and you write about one particular topic. So this last topic we talked about was abundance. So we talked about abundance. So then our next topic is resilience. So that will be volume 6. But all of those books are in the Library of Congress. So that's what makes me a best-selling international author with that one. My
Mm-hmm.
memoir, I have been dragging that one along a very, very, very long time because when you put your whole life out there, things start to shift. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm already on Google, but the direction I'm going with writing these books,
Mm-hmm.
when I move into, I'm doing a lot of legislation work right now in Arizona. So I'm trying to make sure that everything I put out there is true. I don't have any lies that are out there, but I don't have anything that anyone else has never done. I have
Mm-hmm.
not been in jail or committed a crime.
Right.
But when you put your whole life out there, you have to be prepared for it. So that book has been dragging me on. I want to release it in the month of May when my 47th birthday, but I want to release it when I'm on my vacation for my birthday, which I'll be in Alaska. So we'll see if I can get it ready for May. And I'll have another quote book that is in the process too. So that series is just going to keep going and going and going. And it's just different quotes that I've thought of or that have resonated with me, even if some of them are close to someone else's. Something along those lines have like touched me in some
Mm-hmm.
instance. And those quotes are surfaced around everything I do. I mean, I left
Mm-hmm.
off other stuff I do, but I'm a bowler. I've been bowling since I was 14. So I bowl tournaments in um, different leagues right now. And then I'm also, I'm the ambassador for the state of Arizona for notaries. So any notary that needs some assistance, Moni, for an example, she just became a notary and she's like, I need to know what to do. And I went to this one website. I said, no, you're going to do this, 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 this. She's like, I want to. So having that position, I continue to advocate for notaries in Arizona, and I'll be at the Capitol next week, actually, with the at the House of
Okay.
Representatives. So I'm working on a lot of different things. I do have time to chill. I promise you. I get
That's
my time
good.
in. I get my time in. I get my self care in. I get time in with those that are important to me. Spend time with my partner and just
Mhm.
keep it pushing.
I was going to ask you, what are you doing with that self care? Because again, I am guilty of it. Um, how are you taking care of your own mental health, your own
I
self?
do a lot. So I I will say, being in the mental health and the behavioral health field, I go to therapy once a week. I used to
Good.
go twice a week, but I had life traumas that happened to me, and I needed
Mhm.
to sit back and say, you may be okay appearing to other people, but internally you're not okay. And I
Right.
had various triggers. So
Mm.
I now was doing every 2 weeks to
Okay.
therapy just to have an innocent person that does not know me
Mhm.
and can talk. And now I go once a week. So I do go to therapy once a week so that I'm able to talk and still process other things in my life that happened when I was younger because like my grandmother raised me. I needed to dig deep to figure out why did my grandmother raise me?
Right.
And I do that. So I do the therapy and then I use bowling as a coping skill. I listen to music 24/7
Mhm.
and I still go, I get my feet done. I get my hair done. I don't really get my nails done too much more, but I'll sit back and I'll just go walk in nature. I mean, things I never used to do, I actually do. So
That's
I do self-care.
good. And I'm so glad you mentioned therapy because, in our community, therapy is like a taboo. You don't go and do that. So I'm
Mhm.
so glad you mentioned that that's something that you keep in your toolbox of
Mhm.
things because we need it. As much
Well,
as we think we
I
do,
faithfully go. I promise you.
and you said that, and no kidding, I had on my list of appointments to make your therapy appointment because I haven't seen my therapist in since probably September.
Oh no, you need to go.
Since September. Yeah.
So yeah, I had my doctor say, listen, I want you to go. You work a job, you work a high stress
Yeah.
job. It
Yeah.
has someone had to put it in front of you. You work a high stress job. You have sons, sons are
Mhm.
always sitting right here. You got one in Korea living his best life, no kids,
Yeah.
not married, and he kicking it. I gotta check
Yeah.
social media and be like, boy, go sit down. You outside every day.
Yes. Sit down. Rest your
Mhm.
soul.
Yes. So I think about that. I'm like, the holidays come around. I don't get to see my kids. I'm not
Yeah.
your average empty nester. I'm an empty nester, but I don't see my kids on the holidays. I either
Me
spend those
either.
by myself or I'm gonna spend that with somebody I'm in a relationship with. But like the
Mhm.
last couple of years, I was asleep on the new year and I went through Atlanta and explored Atlanta for 10 days. Like I do different things. So I try to
Okay.
keep myself busy. Little small trips here and there.
That's good though.
Mhm.
You got to keep yourself busy. I
Yeah.
mean, again, we, I mean, I'm married, but we still try to have our separate things that we do and maintain that. So I get it. And being an empty nester, I know we all say, "Oh, we can't wait to be an empty nester. We got all these plans." I miss my kids. I
I
miss
miss
them.
my kids, but it's also kind of it gets lonely.
It
You don't
does.
you like you're very cautious of who you spend your time with or
Yeah.
you deal with a lot of people. Now I'm just like I'm not doing that. I'll cancel something before I commit to. I'll commit to it. I'm like, cancel. That's not worth my time. If I
Yeah.
can't
It's
benefit you and you can't benefit me, I'm not doing it.
yeah. Your time becomes you start to really see the value in your time, which we were never taught that, right?
Correct.
Give, give, give. So,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna credit my husband for this one for making me value my time better, because he says you just give and give your time away, and he said you have to stop that. You can't answer everyone's call.
That's true.
You can't be at everyone's event
Hmm.
because that was one of the things. My schedule was packed with showing up for this person, showing up for this person, doing this and being here. And it's like, you got to
And they
say
don't
no.
show up for you.
And
And they
they
don't show
don't
up.
show up for you.
Mhm. That's how you find out who is really on your team.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Hmm.
And who really is going to be that one that's going to say, I got your back, you know?
Yes.
And it's hard to find those that will say that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have like maybe four that I could say I can
Hmm.
call and they will show up,
Hmm.
you know.
Hmm.
And so that, and I, like I said, I give him that credit. I said, "Babe, I did. I had to step back, even to coming into this new year. I said, I'm not overbooking myself because you do that. You do. And some of the things I do like to do, like you said, you want to go here, you want to be here, you want to do that. It's like, oh, is it worth my time?
I've learned to do time blocking and chunking where I can have a lot more open days. So I used to be like, oh, I'm gonna do this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'm gonna do 4 things on one day and I'm done. You know?
See, yeah, yeah, I love that. I have to go back to that. I used to have a schedule where it was that, and then it went that shit crazy. In like 2.2 seconds, it just one thing throws everything off. So I commend you for maintaining that schedule, maintaining that sense of self, doing that self-care, and again, seeing somebody and talking about those childhood traumas that we walk around with and don't know what triggers us, and we sitting here mad at the world, and it's like, what the hell am I mad at the world for? What happened? You know, what pissed me off today?
That's why I'm making a podcast, because people don't live up to those. They don't live up to themselves to discuss things about their life.
Yes, and mental health is such a huge part of everything we do. We can't do it without our minds, right?
No, we can't.
So talking about your podcast there, let's start there. Okay. We're not going to say the name of the podcast because we got some things we got to do with that. And we don't want nobody stealing nothing. People are trifling.
Oh, I know. You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not saying there are none name.
Who? People are trifling. So you see, I didn't say the name. So
I'm not either. When the trademark is ready, then I will release it. I haven't even released the logo. Nothing.
Nothing.
Nope.
But we're gonna talk about the premise of it and what your mission is of it, because I just love it. And so let's talk about that. So what, you talked about what you leading into going into the podcast. So what led you to go into the podcast about mental health and being us?
So I kind of actually started this on TikTok, and that's kind of interesting to say, but I would get on TikTok and go live and have conversations with people, and people started to ask me where I came from, what has happened to you, and I would just mention little spurts of my life. And then I found myself, I found myself waking up every morning and recording a different topic about my life, something that happened, something I've experienced. And I can talk to people in a large room, but people don't think that I've went through these things. Like the things I went through, they'll be like, what happened? So I figured I needed to be that platform, because there's not that many platforms out there that really talk about mental health, childhood traumas, grief, anything you could think of. No one's talking about it. Like you said, it's a taboo. No one wants to say, well, I went to therapy and, this is what I'm doing. And this is the shadow work that I'm working on. And this is that. And this is this. And I'm doing it.
Right.
I'm doing it. Not to bring up the past, but my mother, who did not raise me, like, my mother committed suicide and she planned it. So those are different things that I had to deal with, that I had to process. And at some point I knew that this would occur because of her mentality. So it's a mentality type of thing, and it's an alignment type of thing. And if you're not aligned, then your mental health is you're not living to where you should be. It's a whole cultural, I call it, it's a cultural thing. It's almost like a cultural shock when people say, oh, mental health. We don't want to talk about mental health. Why not? Because you're struggling. That's why.
Yeah, because you're struggling. That's why.
You're struggling. And I know you're struggling, because I can look at you and tell I went through that. I know what you're looking like right there.
Yep. I love it. I love it. So I'm going to hold that note right there for 1 second because I have something that I have a question about that as well. But I'm going to play this commercial because we gotta do our commercial thing. So um, go ahead and I grab a glass of water and we're going to come back and we're going to finish that thought.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
All doing.
All right. Good job. Look at me. I'm
We
navigating.
get to talk.
I know, right? We navigating this computer, and I'm just like, okay, let's do this. All
I
right.
told them good morning already in the chat. I know they like, why is she talking about good morning? Good morning.
That's right. Good morning.
30. I can give you. I think I can give you 30 more. Well, 30 more minutes at least.
All right, we good.
30 more minutes.
I would like to welcome you to a show that is called Cruise with Rob C, exclusively on WUBI Ubiquity Radio every Sunday afternoon from 1 to 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. My name is Rob C, and while taking your cruise, you will hear the very best in smooth jazz, smooth R&B, classic soul, as well as other genres that definitely define the very essence of smooth. I personally invite you to come aboard, and while you're here, grab your favorite beverage, turn up the volume, and have a seat as we set sail on this musical journey for your listening pleasure. You can find us at wubi.live, or depending if you have an Apple or Android device, go to your app store and download our free WUBI app. Take care, and as always, enjoy your cruise, y'all.
I am the Disco Bee.
I am the Alpha Male.
I am Benjamin Grimm, and we host
From a Queen's perspective,
the seasoned gentleman.
the host of the Love Jones Cafe.
we are the Love Jones Cafe.
The Love Jones Cafe.
We are the Love Jones Cafe.
Love Jones. Love Jones. Love Jones. Love Jones.
Hey everyone, Dr. Diana Collins here with the Soulful Eclectic, a podcast about being your authentic self and maintaining your health and wellness, brought to you by Divine Nubian Essentials, Love the Skin You're In, and also Collins Education Resource Management, where healthcare education is our passion. If you're looking for a new read, check out our friend Reggie Dupree in Hoodoo Heaven, Return to Hoodoo, and Mystical Midlife Mate, because everything is happening in Hoodoo, brought to you by WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. If you have not downloaded your app on Roku or Apple or Google Play, do so right away. The Soulful Eclectic can be found every Friday night, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on all your podcast streaming platforms, WUBI Ubiquity Radio and TV. So, see you soon. Namaste. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Thank you for taking that moment. And we are back in business. Yeah, I had to get some water too. Every morning I have like hot water and lemon and ginger shots. Okay. And then before I have anything else. So for some reason, 5 a.m. I get up and it's like I hit it and I start working and it's like, where did my time go? I got things. 5 a.m. is the best creative hour. For those who don't know, get on
late at night is and early in the morning
early in the morning. My eyes popped open at 2 a.m. I'm looking at why am I up at 2 a.m.? But I was.
Need to go create something.
I did. So there we go. All right. So get back on that thought. And we talked about the cultural shock of mental health and talking about it and being taboo and ACEs. We talk about ACEs. I talk about ACEs in school education with college students because I teach nursing. And they come in with their set of traumas into the classroom traumas, right? So I deal with it on that level. So ACEs, which is the adverse childhood experiences. That's what it is, I believe. And they have a whole scoreboard that you do and things like that. And it really narrows down where we are coming from when it comes to traumas and things like that. And how do we deal with it? And you talk about triggers. We mentioned triggers early on. And you talk about navigating that in your podcast, correct? Navigating those triggers. So let's talk a little bit about that.
I guess pretty much you need to dive deep. If you don't dive deep and go head in first, then addressing those, you won't really see where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned shadow work because it does start with shadow work. It starts with recognizing what you're dealing with internally and what you're personally struggling with.
Mm-hmm.
And
now, go ahead.
And it can also look at a lot of challenges, right? When we're looking, and when I'm looking to speak to people about mental health, I want them to know that one, it's important. Two, that you need to make space to heal. Many times you don't make space to heal, and you need to be able to grow. And if you don't heal yourself, you're never going to be like healed. You won't be able to be your authentic self. You can't be your authentic self if you're not healing, or if you're not healed from different things.
No, that's true. Because then you don't know, you can't be authentic self if you don't heal those pieces, but you don't really know who you are in those pieces, right? You mentioned shadow work. Now I'm well aware of what shadow work is and what shadow work does. So share with everyone, because when you mention shadow work, you got a lot of people out there says, I'm not messing with the devil, and then this and that, and you heard it. You heard it.
So basically, shadow work is you need to explore and accept parts of yourself that are deep down inside, things you have just suppressed. And all of us have suppressed things. All of us have. We suppress it. Sometimes you suppress so much, you sit back and you say, I've suppressed stuff for a long time. And I'm a living witness. I've suppressed things for 6 years, and I still am continuing to heal. I know that I'm good within, but some things I can't consistently keep suppressing. I can't go with them out without being addressed. I have to let some things go. That's the biggest thing, of letting go of things you cannot control. You can't, when you let go of those things, you have to look back and say, do I need to really hold on to this? Like, why am I holding on? The biggest question is, why do you continuously hold on? And the shadow work helps you to be more self-aware. And I mentioned self-awareness before. You have to be self-aware. And then you have to be, soft on yourself. You got to have some compassion, because if you don't, you're going to beat yourself up so much that you're going to be like, I can't do this. And then you're going to go right back and spiral down. Yeah. And I've been there. I can honestly say that I don't spiral down. I used to spiral down so much. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to not do nothing. I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to do day by day. Now I'm like, my life is planned to like 2028. I have something on the calendar till 2028. And that's a blessing, I can say, no matter what it is. But if you don't have your purpose to become more balanced, it's going to be a struggle.
Yeah, that purpose to be balanced is key. Because we're constantly, it's constantly a juggle to maintain that balance, that sense of where you are, where you're doing, where you're going. But again, if you don't identify those things that you've suppressed and you've put to the side, and you've just kind of just kept going as business as usual, because that's what we do. It happens. So what? Move on. You'll be fine.
Yep.
It's happened to somebody else before. You're not the only one. I mean, we've all heard all those things. It'll get better, you know. God can give you all you can handle. He won't give you more than you can handle. Come on now.
That's
But
true.
does that mean we don't address it? We don't acknowledge it? We don't, you know, and I talk about that because even within my own family, you know, I have my oldest daughter who doesn't really talk to me because she's dealing with her own set of childhood adversities that it's one of those things where I can say, listen, I'm a mom. I did the best I could. I apologize. My intent wasn't to hurt you, but she still has her set of healing that she needs to do. And so she chose to separate herself and put herself in a bubble and say, I'm not ready to reintroduce you back into my life, Mom. Okay, I'm okay with that. Because at the end of the day, I can only be the best person that I can be. And I can only show up as the person I am today, the healing person that I'm working on today. And then there's her, right? And she has to do that. She has to do her set of shadow work. And she does. And she's doing it. And I'm so proud of her for it. And I tell her to this day, I am so proud of you for holding yourself accountable, for holding me accountable, you know, because that's hard to say those things. And I'm one of those parents that say, listen, I'm not perfect. You can tell me when I'm wrong. I'm okay with that. I can tell you why, you know, I can tell you why I did those things and made those decisions that you at this adult age don't agree with, because then it was a different time where you had to do those things. Where now, if I was raising you now, I wouldn't have to even consider doing those things.
Exactly. And something else to say is shadow work is good, but on a therapeutic level, when you're going to a therapist, for the individuals that are listening that want to get help, and I don't really promote go to this person, go to that person, but you have to find the right type of person that fits you. Because if I told you all who my therapist was and who I talked to, I'm like, why you talk to that person? Because they understand me. But there is a kind of therapy. It's a EDMR.
Yes.
And that's eye movement, desensitization, and reprocessing therapy. And this really helps you process your trauma. I can't even get to that step yet because I'm not ready. Whether you know it or not, I'm not ready to do that, because that type of therapy, it takes a very long time, and you are unraveling so much stuff. You have to really be ready, because you're going to go back to things that trigger you, things that have happened to you. If you've been in like abusive relationships, anything pertaining to your kid, like everything is, and you got to do one at a time. You can't do it all at once. I'm not ready for that. But I've processed multiple things under EDMR, but some stuff I'm like, I'm not about to deal with that. I'm just going to write it in the book.
I'm going
to write it down and publish it.
Is it? Let it be. The words out there. Let it be.
Yep.
You know, and that's knowing you. That's knowing yourself, right? And you have to be able to know yourself and know, like, that I just can't deal with, and I'm not ready. So we're not gonna do that. And that's okay. But you got to know yourself, and it's great that you do. And I love that you're willing to have that conversation and be open and be transparent in who you are, because that transparency is hard, because people get hurt in transparency. People don't want to hear the truth in transparency. People don't want to hear your perception, your in your truth in it all, in transparency. But it is, You know, I do stand-up comedy sometimes, and I use my life. And my family saw my first set, and they like, "Wow, you gotta talk about us like that?" I was like, "Seriously?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's the truth.
that's what happened. Okay, we were all there. I don't understand. I mean, I'm just making light of it because, again, you know, this is my coping. It's the way to get through it, and I'm not mad about it. I said, listen, if I was mad about it, I wouldn't be talking to none of y'all.
Right.
I said, I ain't mad about it. I said, it is what it is. I said, but I'm gonna make fun of it because now, as an adult, I can say that was some effed up stuff, but it was funny. I'm gonna make light of it. But you know, so they're like, you ain't gotta talk about us. We gotta put our business out there. I said, hey, it's
People
me.
know anyway.
I was like, come on, seriously?
People know anyway, so I'm not sure why you worried about it.
I said, why are you worried about it? Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. But and I think that piece is probably why I've held back on, you know, really diving into my book. I am going to have it. Don't look at me like that. don't. I'm gonna do it.
She gotta hang on me a little bit, just that much longer. She'll have more books, I promise you. You know what she doing? Getting up at 5, but she not writing. Who does that? Like I was sitting at the bowling alley yesterday and I was writing.
Yeah.
Like I had a little book and I was like, "Ooh, let me think. Let me write this quote out." I think I'm up to 75 quotes already for my next book. So
yeah,
we writing.
Yeah.
You gotta do it, even if you take 15 minutes a day. Like it only takes 15 minutes. Just 15 minutes.
I know.
Like when you get off, just grab your book and just say, Tiffany said 15 minutes. Let me just go and do this. Minutes.
Put the timer on. Okay, she said 15 minutes. I'm gonna do 15.
Every day, set your timer. Read my book is the topic. Write my book is the topic. Just
All
get
right,
it done.
15 minutes. I'm writing it down. 15 minutes.
Trying to get her some tools. I'm giving her some tools, y'all.
No, that's not. Listen, I am not above learning some things. Okay. Okay.
It's 15 minutes. It's 15 minutes.
I would tell anyone if you open to teach me something, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna learn it.
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk to you about that time management thing too, then, because I'm gonna get you on the page, the right page.
I'm not mad at it because I do need time management. I do not know what happens with my time.
I used to call it time wise. I used to actually teach a workshop on it too, time wise, and I would basically say, this is how you need to chunk your day. I do not. People talk about me all the time. I don't use my cell phone for appointments. I use pen to paper. I have a planner. I write it. And that stuff on the phone, accept the invite. I'll accept it, but it has to be in my planner. I won't remember. So I'm old school. Yeah, I'm old school.
I am too. I have a planner. I have all the tools. I just have to use them.
It's okay. I got you.
That part. I got them all. It's okay. It's all right. See, the universe brought you into my space for a reason. They said this woman needs to get her stuff in order. Because together, we just have to put it in order.
You will. It's only day 17. I got you.
I know it's only day 17.
Day 17.
Day 17.
Day 17. Like, what have you accomplished? Is every people that call me that I haven't. I'm like, it's day 17. You haven't talked to me in 3 months. What have you accomplished this year? Because I've accomplished 4 things already, and it's day 17.
Yeah. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy.
It'll come.
I'm writing this down. What have you done? Day 17, what have you done? And if y'all think I'm not writing, I'm writing this down.
Yeah, no, it's like today's day 17, even if individuals is listening. So today is day 17 or whatever day you listening to this. what have you done for yourself or your business or what you're trying to do with your life so far? Have you met any of your goals? I've met 3 goals already, and it's day 17. Just saying.
No, I that's why we're talking. I love it because it's true. It's true. And sometimes you need you need to hear it. And every morning I get up, I do my affirmations, I sit there and it's funny because I sit there and I will pouring into others, right? And then just like, okay, what's going in your cup? And my brother, I didn't know he listened to my podcast, but he does. And he said to me the other day, he said, just like you said on your podcast, okay, you pour into your cup and whatever overflows is what goes out to people. And I just had to tell him, I said, nobody asked you.
Ooh.
Don't be using my words against me. That's rude and disrespectful. But I love you.
You'll be all right.
It's gonna be all right. I'm gonna get right. It's gonna be right. But I'm loving where we going with your podcast. I just love the pieces. Because we need it. We need it. And we need it for our community, the Black and Brown community, the LGBTQIA, Two Spirit Plus community. We need it. We need it. And for everyone out there who knows, I am a big advocate of the LGBTQIA, Two Spirit Plus community. That's just my heart. And I work with healthcare equity within the community and advocating for healthcare equality for the LGBTQIA Two Spirit community because there is no equality there. And as much as I don't talk about politics, it does weigh in and weigh heavily on the community, sadly. And it is these next
Monday. So
it's sad. It's dangerous. It's I just charge everyone to be safe out there, to be honest, because even those you think are your friends cannot be trusted at this point. People you've known for years, and it's one of those horror movies or those sci-fi movies that we've all watched where they're pointing the finger. That one, I feel like we're back in the Holocaust when they labeled everybody with stars and this and next thing you know, they're going to label us all with rainbows because if you got a rainbow on, we need to watch you kind of thing. And I know that's a negative space to go into, but that's just that's what I see when I see all the legislation change for healthcare, for women's rights, for all of us. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go on a somber note because that was really somber. I'm sorry.
That's a whole nother rabbit hole that we can go down.
It really is. Because, and then you're going into politics. This is definitely something that I know you're working on and working towards and speaking on and things like that. So you're out in the community. How are you in any of those community realms where you're having those conversations?
On the human rights side, I was in an organization and I hear everything. I'll send you the organization so you can at least sign up for their newsletters. I was in an organization and I had to really take a step back, especially moving into more of the political side with notaries. I support, but at the same time, some of the things that are being demanded, I just don't think are ideal. And I just have my views. You know, my uncle was gay. I have different, friends are a lot of friends that I have. They have their own situations, but they're in the community, and I don't turn my nose up because everybody is who they are. Love is love.
Mhm.
I might love you, right?
Right.
Might love that girl. I might love, so doesn't matter. But I have not. I try to stay back and listen, because if I get too much into it, then
Mhm.
I don't. I'm very vocal, and I just bought a shirt that says "Caution may talk about politics," because I haven't wore it yet, but I do. I had on a shirt yesterday and it had an elephant on it, and they're like, "Is it?" And I'm like, "Why does it matter? Why does it matter what side? It's just an elephant.
It's an elephant.
Don't worry about it." Like, my best friend likes elephants. Does that mean like that?
I got an elephant tattoo, and
Right? Like, I got butterfly tattoos, but y'all don't even know what they mean. They'll find that
right
out. They'll find that out on my
in the
podcast.
book,
Yeah, in the book.
in the book, and on the podcast. But
Mhm.
still,
Yeah. So I don't dapper into it too much. I know what's going on in the community though, for sure. And that's
Mhm.
because I follow one of the a large organization here in Phoenix. So I'll make sure you get that link and you can sign up and you can get some of their newsletters, see what they're doing. I don't go to too many of the events, but I know what's going on. And then
Yeah,
Project 2025 has a lot in there as well. So
yeah, mm, yeah. Well,
that's
we just gonna leave that one right there,
we
because
are.
I just don't know. I just don't know. But
Yep.
I'm excited about your podcast coming out. I'm excited to have that conversation with you. I hopefully I'll be a guest on your podcast at some
Of
point.
course you will. Of course.
'Cause, we got a lot of shit to unpack.
We do. We do. We do. And I'll be looking for guests, and I got topics for days. I got a plethora of, I have a plethora of things.
Yeah, yeah. So definitely, um, I have your information. I will definitely plug it in to
Okay.
all the places so that people know where to find you and to be a guest on your show.
Of course.
And guys, it today, tomorrow, I always say when you have time, take a few minutes and just find that mental space for yourself, right? You just gotta just find it. And I yell at my brother quite a few times a day because he has a stressful job. He works at the VA. It's very stressful. And I say, man, if you don't take 5 minutes, just go to the bathroom and just be, just 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Put a timer on. Just close your door and just be, because people will continue to steal. And I say it and I yell at myself too for it. So
Mm-hmm.
I really do, because I can get sucked into work really quickly. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been there. You're sitting there. You're doing reports, and you're doing reports, and you look up. Next thing you know is 3 hours to pass.
Time to go. Mm-hmm.
It's time to go. It's
Mm-hmm.
time to go. So with time, having a 9 to 5, navigating that, and being
8 to 5. 8 to 5.
8. She said 8 to 5.
8 to 5. It's
That's
8.
my day. 8 to 5.
Whether you believe it or not, I'm salary. So
I know your
long as
time.
I work either 4 or 6 hours, I've worked the whole day. But I balance it. Balance it.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
so it can be done. Look,
Yes.
we're doing it, so it can be done, because I still
Yes.
work.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm
I
doing
still
it.
work at 8 to 5, do
Yeah,
clinicals with students and the whole bit.
yeah, I'm doing it. Big time. I'm doing it. Mm-hmm.
You're doing it. You're doing it.
I'm doing it.
You're painting your creative space.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I do want to talk about that creative space, because, like I said, we let's talk about some right-sided creativity here that you're doing? I saw that artwork that you do.
So I recently just branched out into mental health paintings. So I have currently I have a painting that says mental, and at the bottom it says baggage, but in the middle it has suitcases stacked on top of each other. And I plan to put different mental health words in those suitcases. I have a lady dragging trash bags with baggage.
Mm-hmm.
I do sports paintings, football. I do sorority paintings. I do it all. But I operate by orders. But sometimes I sit down and I just paint, and then I'll say, "Hey, I have this painting," but I don't sit down and say, "Oh, I'm gonna do this." I just go, draw, paint.
Nice.
Mhm.
I like that. That's a nice creative release. You do open air paintings too. You go out and you just bring your easel and you.
Nope. I do everything in the house. I have a whole office where I just go to my office and I can paint in there. I can stream in there. I just got one extra room with everything I do is in there. I can just walk in there, and then when I'm done, I can come out, close the door. I'm not working on anything else the rest of the day. So yeah.
No, I love that. That's how my space is too. It's like one room, everything's in there. Go in there, do what you need to do, and then you close it up and go about your merry way.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it. So you, I mean, I'm just gonna say you. I'm trying to find the thing that, because you're painting, you're doing that, you're the notary. How how did all these things come about? It's just like these are all pieces of you? Is this something that, hey, I just decided to want to do this? You got 15 books plus.
Because I sit down and I have ideas, and those are including so ebooks too. So I create them as ebooks, but I do most of those are all self-published. So even now I have things that are sitting. Like I have a tax journal sitting. I have an estate planning journal sitting. It's sitting. It just needs to be created. It's all written up. Just needs to be created. I can send it to get done. I utilize virtual assistants. So I do have a virtual assistant. I can hit her up and say, "Hey, I need you to pump out these 3 things for me real quick." I'll get it done. And when I get it done, it's ready to go. So that's how I was able to get so many books out. Since I marry people, I have a wedding officiant journal. So anybody that's a wedding officiant can purchase a wedding officiant journal. I got notary journals, multiples. I will be publishing some more because with this House bill that's supposed to pass, they want thumbprints in journals now. So I'm going to go just recreate it for less than what other individuals are going to charge, because people are going to need that notary journal. But I have notary journals out there. I have a self-healing journal out there as well. And I'll be doing another one. This one won't be self-healing. This one will be self-care journal. So I just sit down and just get my computer and type. I think I need another MacBook actually, because this MacBook here, I mean, it's okay, but I think I need another. I have an iPad, but the iPad is not. No, I need another MacBook. Like I take my MacBook everywhere.
Yeah, I was actually, before we got on our call, I was looking at a new computer.
And the one that I have will not give me any. I won't get anything towards it.
No, mine either. Neither one of mine. I won't get anything towards it. So I wish they would give me something towards it. I mean, they told me mine was an artifact. My one was an artifact because I still have the CD drive in it.
Oh wow, yeah, I don't have that. See you.
See?
I at least got a MacBook Air, girl. Dang, I ain't got no drive.
No, that's my other one. The other one is a MacBook Pro, but I just don't want to get rid of my baby yet. But I have to, because there's nothing else I can't even upgrade the operating system anymore.
Don't upgrade it, just keep it. Like I'm gonna keep this one, but I have 11 that I plan to use probably for my podcasting and stuff. I have 11, but this right here, like this goes with this, my MacBook and my iPad, they go with me everywhere.
Yeah, they that's my baby. Those are my babies. But I was looking at a new one before we got on the call, because It sounds like it's taking off.
Yeah, you need to.
It sounds like it's gonna go fly away. But yeah, so I love that. So you got to give yourself permission. Right? Give yourself permission to be okay with what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Is that
You just need to go with the flow. Accept what comes to you. Accept what comes. Either you can do it or you can't. I came up with the title. I almost said it. I came up with the title of my podcast because I had that much, and I'm sitting back like, this gotta go. I gotta get this off. I gotta get this off. I gotta get this off. And as I get it off, I'm like, okay. And when people say, "Do you have the bandwidth?" No, my blah 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 is full. Nope.
Mm-hmm.
It's full. Cannot help you. Nope.
Yeah, that's my term too. I don't have the bandwidth for it. Sorry, can't do it. And even with my 9 to 5, I have to really put myself in that, because my last 9 to 5 or 8 to 5 or 24 hour, I got an ulcer from working that job. Your job will make you sick.
It will. I know. Oh, I know.
Okay. And that's what I try to tell people. People stroked out. That one woman dead at her desk for 4 days.
Oh yeah, I actually know somebody that actually worked there, and she kept telling them like, "Hey, it's a smell, and they're like, "No, it's not, no smell." Yeah.
4 days. They didn't know that woman was in her office.
Yeah. Hey,
that's how much you're worth. That's how much you're worth. Okay. And if nothing we said today has sunk in, know your worth.
Know your worth. Know your worth, and I'm big on paying it forward. Pay it forward. However, go smile at somebody, because I'm not smiling at people in public, but I'm like, hey y'all, go buy a dozen of roses from Walmart. Go give it to somebody.
Yeah.
I know a couple of weeks. Well, in the month of December, because that's the month of my grandmother's birthday, I make up Ziploc bags for the people on the street, and I'll put a roll of toilet paper in there, a bottle of water, some snacks. If I have an extra blankets that I picked up from somewhere, and I'll just be like, here. So I gave away 6 of those, but I tried some different things, just in memories of my grandmother, so that I'm not so depressed or starting to think about her in the month of her, when she was born. Cause I'm like, okay, her birthday is like coming around, and I know my trigger months. You should always know your trigger months and things that are overwhelming. I know my months. I know them. I know, I'm good this month. Okay. Well, this month is on its way. Let's see what's going to transpire. Let me see what I need to do.
I love that too. Know your trigger months, because that's important.
Yep.
And it's, what are you going to do with them? Know how you're going to cope with them, right? Coping is key. We have some negative coping mechanisms that we all gravitate to. Many gravitate to. I'm blessed that I did not. Came close, because alcohol is like on every corner. In some places, depending on where you live. Then you got the drug habits, right?
Yeah, I'm blessed to say I haven't been a part of that statistic too.
Right, and I don't even smoke.
I don't either.
So and when you say that, people look like, really? Like, no. How do you deal with the stress back then? We kept it to ourselves. We internalized it.
We do.
We internalize it. We push it down, and we keep pressing forward.
Yep.
But we have to push the pause.
Mm-hmm.
I talk about pausing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Pause, because you have to address some of that.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that you're talking about addressing that. So during that pause, y'all gonna listen. I'm not gonna say the name of the podcast yet. Y'all gonna listen, okay? To my dear friend Tiffany, and learn how to talk about it and be about it. Because I know, just in the few conversations we've had,
Mm-hmm.
I got my mental work and my work I need to do that I already wrote down. Listen, I'm not above learning something and incorporated it into my life. That's what we need to do. We're not gatekeepers. We're not gatekeeping information. This is information that's all out there.
Mm-hmm. We're just sharing it on our level.
Yes, we're sharing it on our level. We're sharing it so that it makes sense to us. We're presenting it to you, and you do with it as you will. I just say share it with somebody who may need to hear it.
Yep.
It may not be for you, and that is okay. Everything is not for everybody. We are not for everybody.
We're not.
Okay?
I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody.
No, I'm not for everybody. You know, and we, as people have to realize that that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay. And so that's what we talk about, being okay with what it is and giving yourself permission to be okay with what it is. So yeah, I love that. I love it. So when is the podcast coming out? When can we can expect it?
I'm gonna say March 1st.
Okay. Tentatively March 1st.
Tentatively March 1st.
Okay.
And I'm working on my topics and my episodes.
Okay. All right. We got some good topics, some good episodes coming. We're waiting for the flow to happen, and it will happen. I can't wait to see the guests that you're going to have coming on your show. I know y'all going to have some great conversation, and I can't wait to hear what it's going to be about, because I know it's going to be some amazing food for thought.
Yes.
Some amazing food for thought, because I know just with us talking shadow work, dealing with the culture of shock, of therapy, taboo, building vision boards. Lord, my brain is like, I'm telling you.
You'll be okay.
I know I'm going to be okay. I know I will.
You'll be okay.
But that's okay. But yes, so I look forward to it. It brings me to my last thought. And this is what I've talked about this on the podcast. So today is the first day that I am going to adjust my dope. So adjusting the dope is something that is the military term for when we're shooting and you're learning sharpshooting. So so I just changed it to formulate for me. So today, on this day, the 17th of January, because I am behind, I charge everyone to adjust your dope. That D is your direction. What direction are you heading? Where are you going? What are you doing? What's your plan? That one, right? The O is the outcome. What do you want to come out of it, right? What are you planning to see? That P is your position in it. What position are you playing? What position is other people playing in it, and who are in those positions that you're giving them, and how are they going to lead you in that aim of your direction and meeting your outcomes, right? And then the E is checking that ego, right? Because that ego gets in that way and stops us from doing a lot. A lot. So checking that ego, finding that humility in what it is, and just say, hey, I can't and I need help. So checking that ego and asking for that help. So today I'm adjusting my dope. Okay.
Okay.
All right. And I charge anyone who's listening, if you're in that funk,
To charge your dope.
just adjust that dope and
Mm.
just recalibrate and just hit it and aim back for that target, whatever your target is. Adjust the dope and then shoot again. And listen, you still may be off by a hair on that target, but at least you're closer to the target. Just go back and readjust the dope. Okay, where do I need to make those adjustments? And that's okay. That's the whole point of the dope, is to readjust it and keep going back and shooting your target. And we just need to do that. And I'm charging those of you who are listening to do that. I'm charging myself to do it. So we're adjusting our dope today. Right. Yep. I'm on it. Okay.
Adjust the dope.
I'm adjusting dope. Okay. So you can use that if you like. I don't mind sharing. It's okay. But
okay, I'll take notes later on.
you can borrow that. But you know, I just love that. That's just my thing. It just adjust it and just be okay with where it is and what it is, and just handle it from where it is, because we always are looking towards the future, trying to adjust for what we don't know, adjust for what had happened. We can't change anything that has happened. We can't change what's to come because we don't know what's to come. All we can do is handle what's in front of us. And so start with adjusting the dope and start handling the business. So we're going to start handling the business, okay?
Handle the business. Yeah, make sure you send me. I need that one. Adjust the dope. I'm gonna wrap something around. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna move that.
Adjust the dope. Adjust the dope. It's how I just manifest and manage the days that I have, because you get so stuck in where you want to be, where you're trying to go, and that's your clear focus. But you got to really take that pause moment and adjust. Otherwise, you're going to keep spinning your wheels. And honestly, that's what I'm doing. I'm spinning my wheels.
You're like a rabbit. You're going around and you're in a hamster wheel. You're on a merry-go-round. Get off the merry-go-round. What I say.
I'm on that, and we got to get off it. And I'm going to get off it. Yeah. So, any last final things you want to share about where you're doing, what you're coming up with before we close out?
No, just making sure that as you are going through life, be able to embrace, take that pause, breathe, and embrace change. If change is meant to happen, it'll happen. This is the year of nines, and the year of nines represents transformation and closing out cycles. So if you didn't know that, I just gave it to you.
There you go.
So yes. If you add 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, that equals 9. So that's what I'm leaving them with today.
All right. Repeat that one more again.
This is the year of nines. The year of nines means 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 equals 9, which means transformation and closing of cycles. Cycles are relationships. You might be getting a new job. You might retire. All of that's happening. So keep in mind, this is the year of nines. For 12 months. It's only day 17. We got more days to go. Yep. I know. I hit you again. I apologize. So
I love it. I love it. Yep. You know, that's what we're here for, bringing that truth and just bringing it in and making us be mindful of where we need to be, where we need to be going, and what we need to do for ourselves before we pour into the rest of the world that is around us, that's constantly taken from us. And we got to stop allowing them to take it from us. That piece.
Yes.
So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much, Tiff, for being on my show, for sharing what your future podcast going to be, because we going to knock that out.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And anyone else out here, I appreciate the support, and I hope that I was able to give some good knowledge to those that are listening today.
Listen, you gave me some.
I
I ain't expect to have no homework and stuff. I got homework.
So I'm gonna leave one more thing with you.
Hmm.
When I meet with people or talk to people, I give them homework. I promise you. I think when we had a conversation on the phone, I gave you
You
some
gave me
homework.
homework. You did.
So I'm known to give people homework. People call me and they be like, she about to give me some homework. I gave you homework.
Yeah, she gave me homework.
You got some homework. You got a long list though. Some people get like one or two things. You got a list. So yeah.
See, I don't know about this. We have to rethink this relationship.
Then you on time block and you're gonna do your homework. So
Yeah, I'm gonna do my homework. All right. I got my list to do. Gosh, it's all right though. We both have our homework because she got homework too. Y'all don't let her get fooled. She got homework.
But my homework is in process. I got a whole spreadsheet over here where I just click in process, completed, not working yet. I got a whole little, I'll share that with you so you can know how.
Oh, child, you are organized.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
All my topics is broken down.
I love it. I love it. I'm gonna be you one day.
Yep. Got to do it.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. I got
to do it.
Paper. Sticky notes. I have the sticky notes right now.
No sticky notes.
Yeah, I do. They're taped all. They're taped all over.
No, you need to put a chalkboard and put them on a chalkboard and start putting lines to those and accomplishing those.
Where can I put a chalkboard? All right, and now I'm panning the room where I'm gonna put a chalkboard. All right, I got it. All right, chalkboard.
I'm giving you. Listen, you might want to go ahead on and just let me go because your list gonna get longer and longer. Like, did she really? I did.
See it, guys. All right, I'm done with her. I'm done. Y'all just say bye.
Bye, everybody. Take care. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, I'm kicking her off. Okay, she's done. Okay, I'm exhausted. It's only what 8 o'clock in the morning.
All right.
Damn it. But I love it. I love it. I love you. I appreciate you so much. I always say it's about the quality over the quantity. And I know we just met, but I feel like our souls have known each other for some bit of time. So I'm just gonna say it's great reconnecting with you.
Yes.
I think our souls have met before. So it's great to find you again and reconnect again. And we will definitely have more and more conversations as such. And also your podcast and other endeavors, because I know we're being some community events together as well.
Yes, we will.
and it's going to be a blast, and I love it. So I look forward to all of those meetings now and in the future. And again, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you so much. I
appreciate you too.
And I know you're not gonna let nobody stress you on your day.
No.
So I'm not even gonna say don't let nobody stress you because I know that ain't gonna happen. Nope. You enjoy the rest of your day because
I will. You too, and you take care.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye. And guys, thank you so much for taking the time out for being with us. And with that, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you for joining us on the Soulful Eclectic. I am Dr. Diana Collins. We were talking with Miss Tiffany Myles, and y'all look for her podcast coming up in the near future. So as I say always, continue to take care of yourself and each other. Namaste.